A slime in a world of monarchs, Tensura X solo leveling by Void King. The portal ended up closing, the hunters were trapped. Inside the portal the biome was completely different from Korea, they were in a forest full of snow. It will be days, weeks, and maybe even months until the portal opens, Kim Chol warned. Not all of us can survive. The beginners started to get scared, and the atmosphere worsened when some ice arrows flew towards them, being caught by Rimuru and Sung. But one hit the head of a C rank, and he died without being able to react. Ice elves. One of the C rank hunters yelled. Ice elves are better known as Hyaki are very dangerous, don't get distracted. Rimuru warned and handed Song Yi his katana. Keep alert. Yes, master. Song Yi said and she tied the katana to her waist. I will introduce myself again, my name is Kim Chol. I'm an A- rank hunter and leader of this raid. The tank said out loud. I'll take the responsibility of guiding you through the dungeon, but that doesn't mean everyone can survive. We will divide into 2 groups. Kim Chol said. We'll have a better chance of surviving if we go together, Rimuru said, standing in front of Kim Chol. I don't want to carry dead weight, and if we stay here we'll either freeze to death or be ambushed, he replied ignoring Rimuru. Even if nobody wants to clean the dungeon I'll do it alone, who wants to come with me? Most of the hunters wanted to join Kim Chol, but he only accepted the B rank ones since according to him the others were dead weight. Sorry, I'm going to change teams. A rank B hunter decided to go with the group of the weakest. Now there is a vacant spot, who wants to fill it? Kim Chol asked. Instantly a C rank joined them and both groups split up. Sung and Rimuru's group headed into the forest. Less than Kim Chol wasn't able to notice the arrows. Greater than the B rank hunter thought and approached Rimuru and Sung. Less than they're not actually rank E, right? Greater than she thought. Let me ask you something. Why are they so quiet? Sung asked. We received training in keeping calm, especially Kim Chol. He is destined to join the main force. As they talked, Rimuru looked around. There were many bear marks on the trees and stones. Less than this forest is inhabited by ice bears greater than Rimuru thought and noticed how Song Yi rubbed her hands together coldly. Put this on. He took out the Demon Lord coat from storage and handed it over to Song Yi. It will keep you warm. Thank you, but aren't you cold? He put on his coat. I'm fine. I can handle this. Outside the gate. The White Tiger Guild master had arrived on the scene, S-rank hunter Baek Yoon Ho. How many people entered? The guild master asked. 12 hunters from our guild, 1 rank A and 7 rank B are the strongest, Chief On replied. If it's a B rank portal maybe some of them will survive, if it's an A rank portal all of them will die. Actually sir, there are 3 hunters who are not from our guild. That? Because? There is a hunter who caught my attention, so I got him a permit to enter along with 2 others, Chief On confessed. What are their ranks? A or B? In fact, they are E rank. Then the only one we can trust is Kim Chol, inside the portal. The group continued their way through the forest, getting deeper and deeper into the territory of the ice bears. This doesn't seem like a good idea to me, don't you see the marks of the ice bears? Asked Park Heejin, the B rank hunter. This is their territory. It's better to fight some ice bears than Hyakis, don't you think so? Rimuru defended Sung's decision. Less than I hadn't thought of it that way. Greater than Park Heejin thought and understood Sung Jin-woo's reasoning. We wouldn't have to worry about stronger monsters. Anyway, aren't they cold? Sung started pulling warm clothes out of his inventory. Use this. Can you use space magic? Park Heejin became more and more sure that Sung was not an E rank. Master, is Sung Jin-woo strong? Song Yi asked walking next to Rimuru. He's very strong, and I'm sure he'll be even stronger in the future, Rimuru answered. I'd appreciate it if you didn't ask me anything, Sung said and looked at Song Yi. I brought you here, so I will protect you. It is not necessary, my teacher will do it, he replied smiling. Certain? Yeah, don't worry, she'll be fine. Sung and Rimuru looked at each other, neither had bad intentions so they smiled at each other. The good atmosphere was interrupted by the arrival of 3 ice bears. Stay behind us, Rimuru said and together with Sung, they approached the bears. What are you doing? I will fight alongside my master, Song Yi answered, taking the katana from his waist. Rimuru smiled, and Song Yi was gaining confidence. Sung jumped on the bear and hit it hard on the head. That was enough to kill it. Thanks to his title, Wolf Hunter, his stats rise when fighting monsters. Ice bears were no problem for him. For his part, Song Yi used a technique taught by Rimuru. She threw 2 court magic at the monster and finished it off by Park Heejin, who threw a fireball. Thank you, miss. Song Yi put the katana back in its sheath. It was nothing, I just gave him the final blow. For his part, Rimuru took a katana from storage and used it to cut the remaining bear in half. Less than Rimuru is strong. His strength must be S rank, without a doubt greater than Sung Jin-woo and Park Heejin thought. Miss Park Heejin, could you light a fire? Rimuru asked, approaching the bears. I am going to cut the meat of these bears to eat them. I'll help you, master. Song Yi approached Rimuru. I'll make the campfire, Park Heejin said as she helped. We'll look for wood. The 2 C-rank hunters would also help. Sung Jin-woo, could you chase away the bears that are near the place? Rimuru asked. He had a slight suspicion of Sung's powers. No problem, Sung thanked internally, as he could obtain shadows and train his soldiers without raising suspicions. Note: I assume that those who are reading this story will have finished reading Solo Leveling, so I will not write about the encounter between the White Tiger Guild Master and Wang Dong-su outside the portal. And another thing, in addition to the head of the Ice Elves, Hyakis, there will be another who will be his right hand. This one will have the same strength as him. 3 days had passed in the dungeon while only 3 hours in Korea. Sung separated from his group after eating with the excuse of exercising. Although he wasn't lying, at the end of his routine, so as not to receive the punishment, he went to the den of the ice bears. Arise! With that command, the soldiers he had gotten during the job change mission came out of the shadows. In front of them, the ice bears were ready to attack. This is your first task, kill and level up. From the top of a tree, Rimuru watched Sung Jin-woo. He waited for the hunt to end to see if his suspicions were correct. Less than that soldier named Igris is strong. I would like to see him fight with Song Yi, although I'm sure he would win greater than Rimuru thought and analyzed the shadows and Sung's movements. The black-haired hunter approached the corpse of the leader of the bears, which Igris had decapitated. Arise! Jin-woo ordered, and from the dead monster came his shadow. Less than I was right, he uses the shadows of his prey greater than Rimuru thought. In the woods, Kim Chul was running aimlessly through the forest. His team had died at the hands of the Yetis and, to make matters worse, the Hyakis had returned. Without hope of winning, he ran as best he could and entered the forest. After running for a while he reached where the other hunters were. But he didn't like what he saw. They had food, tents, coats, and equipment. Why did they have that? Unable to accept that his team perished due to his bad decisions, he went against the weaker hunters. You sheets! Kim Chul came out of the trees. He was furious. Kim Chul. Park Hee-jin stood up. How did you get here? My attack force was wiped out due to lack of food and equipment. But how did you find this? No one spoke. They couldn't tell that Sung Jin-woo had handed them over. Less than why don't they talk? Have their mouths been sewn shut? Greater than Kim Chul thought as he drew his sword. If you tell me who hid the supplies, I'll let them go. I'll count to 3 inches. Kim Chul counted to 3, but no one said a word. Enraged, he charged at them. The sound of metal colliding startled Kim Chul. Song Yi stopped it with Rimuru's katana. Damn girl. He made several attacks against Song Yi, but none hit her. They were all blocked by the girl's katana. Og! Kim Chul yelled. 3 ice arrows pierced through his chest. It's Hyakis, one of the C-rank hunters yelled. Song Yi walked away from Kim Chul, his lifeless body falling into the snow. This idiot brought the Hyakis to us. Song Yi was on guard. Calm down. Rimuru put his hand on his student's shoulder. He had returned from the forest. Master. Song Yi smiled upon seeing her master. Rimuru, what should we do? Park Heejin asked. I'll take care of those 2. He pointed at the ones that seemed stronger. C ranks won't stand a chance, so I need you and Song Yi to hold out until I finish them off or Sung Jin-woo returns, whichever comes first. I understand, you can leave us that task. Fight carefully, master. Thus began the battle between hunters and Hyakis. With Sung Jin-woo, Sung sensed a strong energy in the camp. so he hurried back. Upon arrival, the first thing he saw was Song Yi and Park Hee killing Hyakis. Arise! Sung's shadows appeared and joined the battle. Now everything was more even. Sung, you must help Rimuru, Park Hee Jin yelled as she cast fire magic. The master is fighting the two strongest, Song Yi warned, continuing to fight the elves. He transformed Kim Chol into a shadow and ran to help Rimuru. The Rimuru was dealing with two Hyakis that could be considered S rank. Less than this guy is impressive, Sung thought before launching himself into a fight with one of the Hyakis, with whom he fights in the original story. He took advantage of his lack of concentration and stabbed him with one of his daggers. Paralysis did not come into effect, defenses were too high. Bleeding did not come into effect, defenses were too high. My skills don't hurt him, Sung thought. Do you think this is enough? The elf asked. Sung was surprised. He understood what the monster was saying. Chief Hyaki tried to take Sung's dagger, but it returned to his hand. He tried to damage it again, being dodged by the elf. Because you protect humans despite not being one? What are you talking about? The Hyaki made his weapons appear, collided with Sung's daggers, and from the shadows came Igras and Iron, shadow of Kim Chol. Between the three of them, they hit the boss. They had caused him some damage. The elf landed a hard kick to Sung's chest and backed away from them, visibly surprised. They're amazing, the head elf shouted. Mr. Sung. Song Yi arrived next to Park Hee Jin. We're done with them, we'll help you with this one. I don't have much mana left, but I'll do my best. Park Hee prepared to cast magic. Now the leader of the Hyakis was surrounded, more excited and confident than before he launched himself against them. The battle had gone on longer than expected. Park Hee Jin ran out of mana. Song Yi was tired and Sung was low on mana. If Igras and Iron were destroyed again, he wouldn't be able to regenerate them. Hey, long ears! Rimuru appeared from the bushes. In his hands he had the head of the elf who was the boss's right hand. Do you recognize this face? Your head will also be in my hands. Don't think so, human. The elf fell for the provocation and lunged at Rimuru. Rimuru blocked the attack and smiled. We won, he told the elf. Sung, Song Yi, Iron, and Igras appeared around him to finish him off. He couldn't react or resist the attack of the four of them combined. The battle was over. The portal opened, and they could return home. The survivors came out of the red portal. Baek Yoon was surprised. 1 rank B, 2 rank C, and 3 rank E completed the dungeon. Less than Boss On was right about Sung Jin Woo. Greater than Bucket thought. Can I ask you a few questions? He stopped Sung Jin Woo, who was leaving. I'm busy, ask the others, Sung answered. He was irritated at not being able to turn the Chief Hyaki into his shadow. 9 members of my guild died, can't I ask a few questions? He released part of his strength. And we saved the other 3, shouldn't you thank us? They both stared at each other, and Baek Yoon relented. You're right, you can go. Sung left with Rimuru and Song Yi, who insisted that he take them. Boss On, you must recruit him at all costs, Baek ordered. I'll do my best. That is not enough, you will have my full support. We can't let another guild get him, much less the Hunters Guild. During the trip, Sung was driving in silence, Rimuru was thinking, and Song Yi was sleeping on her master's shoulder. Song Yi said that tomorrow they will go to clean portals. Rimuru broke the silence. Can I accompany you? Of course, I'll have to tell Jin Ho. Sung didn't mind that Rimuru accompanied him, after all his shadows would take care of everything. Thank you. The road continued in silence until they reached Song Yi's house. A problem arose. I forgot to say it, but my parents kicked me out of the house, Song Yi confessed sadly. Why would your parents kick you out? Rimuru asked. It's because you don't want to study, right? This time it was Jin Woo. Yeah, they were upset when I told them I was going to be a hunter. She remembered how her parents kicked her out. Can I stay at one of your houses? I know you're someone I can trust, but there's no room in my house, Sung said. You can stay in mine. I don't mind. Thanks, teacher. That way Song Yi ended up living at Rimuru's place. The other day in the dungeons. Brother, what about this? Jin Ho asked, surprised by Sung's shadows. Less than that's right, it's the first time he's seen them. Greater than Sung thought. They are my summons, they can kill monsters and collect crystals. I feel like I've lost my place. Jin Ho said as he didn't have to do anything. Greater than master, he can be useful in the future. Less than Seal said, referring to Jin Ho. Greater than do you want to do the same process we did with Song Yi? Less than? Less than you mean to give him the ability and rank him up? Greater than? Greater than exactly, do you want to do it? Less than, but I was going to do the rank test with Song Yi next week. Greater than Rimuru sighed. Less than if we do it, I will have to wait a few months until he reaches S rank so we can all do the test together. Greater than if you think it's a better option I can give you the ability and improve it quickly. It won't take more than a month to reach S rank. Less than, even so, greater than Rimuru thought, it would be like giving Jin Ho tricks. Greater than also, you said you were going to train Park Hee Jin, remember? Less than she reminded him. Greater than I can do the same procedure with her. Less than I forgot. It's alright, I'll invite him to train too, you'll give him the ability and in a month he'll be S rank. Greater than. Hey Jin Ho, Rimuru called out. Would you like to be trained by me? Hey, but I'm rank D, I'm not going to rank up just for training? Accept it Jin Ho. Sung approached them. Look at Song Yi, I can tell she's almost S rank. S rank? Wasn't she E rank a few months ago? She was, but since she started training with Rimuru she hasn't stopped increasing her strength, Sung assured. Rimuru is reliable, you don't have to worry. Less than I can't believe that just by training I can rank up. Greater than Jin Ho thought about it for a moment. If Sung says it's possible, I'll trust you. Alright, we start tomorrow. Rimuru smiled. Sung, can we talk alone? They walked away from Song Yi and Jin Ho a bit to talk. Are you planning to do a re-evaluation of your rank? Rimuru cut to the chase. Yes, maybe in a few days, I have something important to do before that. The dark-haired man was thinking of going up the floors of the demonic castle. Could you wait a month? Rimuru asked. I'm sure with my training, Jin Ho and Park Hee Jin would only need a month to reach S rank. Sung looked visibly surprised. Could he really take a D to S rank in such a short time? It took almost 7 months to bring Song Yi up to her current state, and that was already unbelievable. You're not supposed to increase your strength no matter how hard you try. I witnessed Song Yi improve. Sung sighed and smiled. Okay, I'll wait a month. Thank you, and by the way, you don't plan to join any guild, right? Right now I don't plan on joining any. I understand, but what if I manage to get dungeons that go from A to S rank? Will you join the guild I plan to create if that happens? Do you think you can get A rank portals? Also, S rank portals are not a game, nor do they appear frequently, only every few years. I know, it's just a question. Silence reigned over the place for a few seconds until Sung decided to answer. If you achieve that, I would have no reason to refuse your invitation. Perfect, that's what I wanted to hear. Rimuru took out a pair of daggers from storage and threw them at Sung. You are better using these. These daggers? Sung was very shocked. The system did not allow him to use them due to lack of power. True dragon daggers. I found them when I defeated an A-rank boss, he lied. I use a katana so they don't work for me. They are of good quality, you should use them. Thank you, Sung thanked and watched as Rimuru returned to the others. I'll keep them until I can use them. Rimuru met up with Song Yi, Park Hee, and Jin Ho in the usual open space. He unfolded the invisible barrier so no one could feel or see them. Rimuru, what are we supposed to do here? Jin Ho asked. Train, what else? He answered as if it were obvious. First of all, I need to tell you something, you must keep this a secret. Will you tell them that, Master? Song Yi already knew what Rimuru was going to explain. That's right, but I need you to promise not to say anything. We swear. They both said at the same time. Very well, then I will explain what will happen once we start the training. When I woke up as a hunter I got a different kind of power than normal, and it's giving abilities through training. How does it work? For example, Song Yi obtained the Sword Art Apprentice skill for training with the sword. You will surely get one that goes with its characteristics. And how do the skills work? Park Hee asked. Song Yi's skill allows her to learn and improve sword attacks. It's always an upgrade, and as the skill rises so does the rank. Do you understand why Master wants to keep his ability a secret? Song Yi asked. His power would be coveted by all the guilds and he couldn't do what he likes the most, have fun. I understand, again I swear to secrecy, Park Hee-jin said bowing. I also swear again, nothing you told us will come out of my mouth, he imitated Park's gesture. Thank you for understanding. Once everything was clarified, the training began, hell. This is horrible, Jin Ho yelled, resisting Song Yi's strong attacks. I feel like I'm going to pass out. Park Hee cast buffing spells on Jin Ho and weakening spells on Song Yi at all times. Master, I can't feel my arms. Song Yi yelled as she kept throwing attacks at Jin Ho's shield. If you want to be stronger, you must endure it. Rimuru was passing them mana so that they wouldn't stop at any time. At night. Well done, we're done for today. The three of them fell to the ground completely exhausted. How do you feel? I think my bones are broken, Jin Ho replied, trying to catch his breath. I'm going to. Park Hee didn't finish speaking when she started vomiting. I'm hungry, Song Yi said before fainting. There's no other way. He threw a potion at each of them. Drink it, it will make you recover. Park Hee and Jin Ho were shocked. The exhaustion has gone almost instantly. Rimuru gave Song Yi a drink and the girl woke up. Now let's talk about skills. Did you manage to get any? He asked his new students. A voice in my head said that I got Iron Defense. That's good, and you Park Hee? He asked the magician. It told me that I got Scale Power, the girl answered. I see, Iron Defense makes you more resistant. The more you train the more you can endure, Jin Ho. That's great. The perfect skill for a tank, Jin Ho cheered. Now Park Hee, Scale Power, is as its name says. The more magic attacks you cast, they'll scale and they'll be empowered. That means I'll be an offensive mage. He smiled. Thus ended the first day of training, in the Demon Castle. Sung was leveling up while collecting souls for the quest. He was already on the 10th floor. Assuming this place has 100 floors, it will take me a week to complete it. Sung's thinking was wrong. While it took him a week to gather all 10,000 demon souls, he only made it to the 75th floor. By eliminating the boss of the 75th floor, he obtained the recipe for the Holy Water of Life, a potion that cures any disease. He got 2 of the 3 necessary items by defeating the bosses on the 50th and 75th floors. It's obvious that the last item is on the 100th floor, but with my current strength I won't be able to do it. Leaving the castle, he looked for a dagger to buy. The one he had was no longer useful and the one Rimuru gave him could not be used. Therefore, he decided to sell the Order of Greed. The only problem was, how would an E-rank hunter alone get such a good item? As a solution, he joined the mining team of the Hunters Guild. I would say that he obtained it in a raid as a miner in a rank portal. On the training ground, a week had passed since the beginning of the training. Everything was going well. Park Hee-jin had raised her rank to A, and Jin Ho moved up to B, as well as gaining some muscle. And Song Yi, she was still S rank. Although Rimuru noted that she was not aware of that, perhaps because it forced her to hide her energy. As Park Hee launched multiple amounts of magic attacks and Jin Ho resisted them, Rimuru called out to Song Yi. What's wrong, master? I want you to release your energy to the fullest. Without protesting, she let her energy explode. It was much more than the time she fought in the red portal. Master. Song Yi was excited. I made it. That's right. Now let's test your strength. Yes. Each with katana in hand, the light wind began to tremble as did the stones around them. Song Yi's strong attacks were blocked by Rimuru. Jin Ho and Park Hee watched the battle. They were still a long way from being on their level. Come with everything. Jin Ho yelled. That's what I planned. More motivated they returned to training. They would not rest until they achieved their goal.